I don't know, I was just looking at them.
No, I'm more concerned about their immigration status, but really, just kidding.
Spot on.
You know, I hear Texas, I freak out. So, we heard the songs from this block. Syrebris, The Current, from their record Etheric Dynamic, that we heard. Insentient, Death Toll Rising, kind of like this room, just kidding. So sensitive, ladies. From their record Remnants, and we started the set probably with Harlequin, with the record of the same name, from the demo of the same name.
All right, those three bands are playing April 6th. They're playing April 6th. They're playing the Metal Invictus. What's the name of that again?
Maidens of Metal 2.
Maidens of Metal 2.
So we're going to assume that there's going to be a 3,
Maybe.
4.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Good.
All right, we got a bunch of swag from all three bands.
Look at all this shit, man. Stickers and CDs and T-shirts and...
We got swag from Syrebris.
Jesus, Cabs.
LA Unified. Harlequin, very thank you for the swag. We got a nice shirt and a business card and Insentient.
And up next is your paternity test.
By the way, do any of you girls find me attractive? Am I hot? What is it with these young metal girls?
Dude, they're drinking Monster, not fucking Jameson.
Do any of you girls have drug and alcohol problems? Because I can get your numbers. No, just kidding. All right, let's get back to the interview there.
Yeah, let's be professional for once.
Yeah. Leslie, let me talk to you real quick. I really like your band, like I mentioned earlier. I like the fact that you really focus on the musicianship aspect, and you really write really good, creative, musically challenging, non-cookie cutter tunes, and you really push it to the next level.
Still brutal.
When you're writing, yeah, and the brutality of it. When you're writing with your fellow bandmates, are you affiliated as far as being the main songwriter? Because for some reason, I just think you are. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, that's the case right now, because I had this material for like probably two years, and then the guitar player that I have, Kimberly Oriana and James Copolino, they recently just joined the band, as well as Randy Escobedo from The Opaque, who's filling in as a session player, and William Toledo, who used to play with Dreaming Dead. They all
amazing,
great band.
They all recently just jumped on board, and this is the first time within the 3 years that I've had this material that I've had a full lineup to play with. So all the material I've had already, so they joined me.
You know, you mentioned Dreaming Dead, which is another incredible, amazing,
really good band.
Technically fruition band. Has Elizabeth inspired you in any ways?
I admire her, all the hard work that she puts into her band, and I played with them for a little bit, did a tour with them for about a month.
That's why
in 2008.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So she's a great guitar player, but my influences are mainly just from like the neoclassical shred guitar stuff, Megadeth, Death. It's just a mix of thrash, black, and death metal. So.
Now, what is your opinion of this scene? That because I really don't, I don't want to ask this because it could be offensive, and not only that, I don't think it's really relevant, but. What is your opinion of the scene that you are rising from, which is, in my opinion, since I'm technically an old man now, a young, vibrant scene? What is your opinion of it? And your fellow bandmates?
You know what, I just think it's really great right now that I see a lot of the bands that we're starting to play with and networking with, that we're all really working hard to try to support each other, whether we're playing here locally, out of state. A lot of us, what we'll do too is we get merch from other bands, pass them out when we play out of state, and then do the same thing with other bands, bring their merch back into Cali, and just try to revive it and just kind of create a bit of like camaraderie, I guess you could say. So it's not so much of that whole aspect where everybody's just being competitive and the whole, every man for himself type attitude. So
would you agree with this? And if not, please educate me, because like I mentioned earlier, I was very ignorant to this new vibrancy. This is why I commend you, and at the same time I wanted to talk to you. I'm under the impression, at least I was, that the LA scene, there is no scene.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
And one of the things that I want to justify my belief at that time was because, with the exception of certain credible promoters in LA that I don't want to mention, everybody knows who I support, because if not, they all get butthurt. It's amazing how men are really the real bitches in there. But there are a huge amount of promoters here in LA that really just deteriorate the scene. They don't really put the real energy, the real creative energy to highlight great bands. They really take it upon themselves to just make the dough and split. They burn the places like fucking termites. They just eat away. There's no responsibility. They allow any fucking band to come in and just have a platform, which that band, if they're Neanderthalic and non-talented, they bring their element, and there's no scene. And it gets to the point where, like what you mentioned, it seems to me that what you guys are doing now present day, was back like in the early 80s. The unison, the camaraderie, the bonding aspect. Do you think, and I'm not saying this to be ignorant, do you think it's because of the femininity? Because it has been said, if the world was, if we had
women,
yeah, it'd be a lot different. You know, I know that definitely Mother Earth wouldn't be fucking dying. Yeah, I said it. I could already hear a bunch
hey,
of
there's nothing wrong with being a tree hugger. I
I could already hear a bunch of fucking Republicans typing away. But anyways, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that it's like women who are kind of, some of the few who are kind of doing this, where we're trying to create some unity within the scene. I just think it's just a matter of now that people are stepping up and then just trying to be more active in it. And then that whole issue with like the metal scene said, I think that just simply stems from the fact that people bitch and complain about like, oh, there's nothing going on, but they don't go to shows. It's like, how are you going to find new local talent if you're sitting at home watching fucking TV?
Hey, but,
Get your ass to a show.
but to be fair, man, a bowl of Cheerios and fucking The Walking Dead is awesome.
I don't want to miss Walking Dead either. I'm a fan, but yeah, it's just that I think people don't take the time to go out and like check out other shows and see who else is playing, because there's, LA is fucking saturated with bands. So.
Really quickly to illustrate that point. Not only do a lot of these kids either they don't go, if they do go, they're in the back having conversations about nothing to do with what they're there for.
Yeah.
So that is an incredibly frustrating aspect of this whole music thing. And it's not only metal; it goes with punk and every other sub-genre.
Thank you for cock-blocking the young lady there, Los Angeles.
Well, I have a cock to use it with.
Same thing for you, Harlequin. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Tawny?
Tawny. Let's get you up to the mic there, darling. Same question. Do you feel that you're having a positive effect on this scene now because of the fact that the femininity and what have you, and what I mean by that is being that you're changing the what has been the norm of every band cock blocking themselves and no unison whatsoever.
I mean, I guess when we came out, it was just a bunch of girls, and not a lot of people were used to that. I mean, Insentient was already out. I'm not sure how long Syrebris was out already, but there were bands that did feature female members in it, whereas for us it was all female members. And I guess we might have contributed to, like, I don't know, having girls just feel
A
like,
different vibe in the scene?
yeah, just I don't know. I mean,
You're like, thanks, Dick.
no, like, you're giving me the hard question.
Fucking asshole. You remind me of my fucking teacher in high school.
Yeah.
I think it's important to really, aside from your musical contribution, is the fact that you're changing the energy. You're changing the perception. You're actually helping the bands that are coming in after you, which hopefully will continue to be female involved, because the first person that goes through the wall always ends up being the bloodiest. Trust me, I know. You know what I mean? I didn't get a face like this for nothing. Same thing for you, darling. Same thing for you. You and your fellow bandmate / life mate. Would you agree with what I've been asking your fellow comrades here?
Right. Okay.
What? What'd you say? Huh?
All right. So,
Yes.
what was I going to say? Okay. Well, I just want to point out that I know that a lot of the bands are helping each other. They're supporting each other. They're, I think that really improves the scene. It's, but like you said about how, what is it, like having females in the band, how that kind of helps you get out there in a way. I mean, I wouldn't say.
Please voice your opinion. Did I say that?
I maybe I misunderstood. I don't know.
Well, I mean, acknowledge that though, because that's an interesting aspect to discuss.
I mean, it does draw attention. I remember back, like a few years back, I admit, like, I used to say, like, oh, female-fronted, band or whatever, Syrebris, whatever, but then I stopped using that.
Why? Tell me why.
I'm
glad you did, but why?
I don't want to use, our gender, to get our music out there.
Let the talent and the music speak for itself.
I just, like, we're all girls, like, trying to get our music out there, yeah. But I don't know, I want our talent to speak, more.
Good for you, good for you. I think it's really important to reiterate the fact that all of you stand on your talents. You're not up there doing like the Lita Ford fucking dancing and provocative dance.
Kiss me once.
Yeah. all of you, especially in the genre, are not only not at all addressing your femininity. You're going up there with your musical talent and really putting it in people's faces. Like, hey, you know what? This is what it is. I have not seen not one of you go up there with the feminine sexual uniform to get the attention. You all go up there with your instruments and you do it.
Yeah, we're actually looking at the guitars, not other feminine body parts. It's like, that's a sick guitar she's playing, and she's playing it well. And I think sick drum fill.
And I think it's also important, real quick, to address that. You were asked to come down here not solely because there was feminine females in the band. You were asked to come down here because I think each one of your bands really in this scene. And I know I'm going to upset a bunch of other fucking sensitive fucking bands that are in the LA scene. But really, I from what I've seen in my exposure and from my conversations with other so-called music journalists and writers, you guys step it up. I honestly think you guys bring it not only to a whole other level, but the fact that you can take your influences and be able to creatively carve another piece of the pie that wasn't there on your own talent is remarkable. Especially in Los Angeles, where everybody's doing the fucking same fucking thing. It gets redundant and boring. Let's listen to some more tracks here. You guys are playing April 6th at the legendary Vex. Help me out there, John. What is it? Metal Invictus.
Invictus. Maidens of Metal 2.
All right, there we go. That's April 6th.
English.
Make sure you
learn it, everybody.
Make sure you get out there and see that. You're listening to the loudest.com on the planet, Jimmy Cabs and Manic Metal, KDC.com.